match matters.
Yeah, if I don't trip over my words, hey Dev. But here is the ban phase. Let's see if Zealous are going to ban that Capital like I was predicting.
Let's see. Capital on the cards here. Could be a hard breach. Thatcher. So, interestingly enough, we saw a bunch of Thatcher bans last night as well. It's, you know, not something that we had particularly expected on this map in particular, but, you know, we saw it yesterday banned in tandem with a Kaid.
Yes. That was one thing I did want to bring up. Like, I think if a Maverick is banned, you banning Thatcher next would make some of these hatches, you know, pretty much unable to be breached, full stop. Yeah,
and I mean, it's exactly what Mindfreak did yesterday, right? The Thatcher and the Kaid together. Hibana's taken off, so speaking of hatches, you know, we have that Maverick still in play, but yeah, just him and the Thermite to be relied upon tonight. Mira taken away, so I don't know.
Echo.
Will we see an Echo? Will we see the Kaid? I personally don't reckon the Kaid's a decent pick here because you're just going to be using your Maverick to get rid of the hatches anyway.
Yeah.
So Echo Maestros is where my cards lie.
Well, let's see as Zealous are taking their time with this one, just like they did with the first. Timer ticks down and it's going to be Valkyrie.
I like that one. So we've seen actually a huge amount of impressive Valkyrie play recently from Fury, particular players like Shade. Absolutely popping off on Valkyrie. You know, a lot of people critique Valkyrie, say, you know, great utility, but not such a great gun. And we have some certain players on this roster who can, you know, refute that. Their gun skill with the MPX is pretty insane. You know, pop the heads and it does everything. You know?
I was going to say, I thought the MPX was a great gun.
I know, but okay, you know, chat can answer for me, but I think there's a general expectation among the majority player base that the MPX isn't a good gun because it has a low damage per second, but that high fire rate, low recoil, in my opinion, makes it a lethal weapon in the hands of some of these experienced pro players.
Yeah, we are going to see Shade switch from the Thermite over to the Zofia. Dev, that's an interesting pick, especially seeing as Maverick is only hard breach, but they are attacking the top floor, so it's not like they've got a ton of hatches to open up. But how are they going to access the bomb site? Yeah,
that's a big question mark for me. You stick to pick off your, you know, I can't say only hard breach because we do have the Maverick, but I feel like when you write hard breach next to Maverick, you always have that little asterisk and say, well, he's kind of hard breach, but you can't really make yourself an entry point. He may be a hard breach, but you're very much restricted in how you can use him. So no Thermite is, you know, if you ask me what is the most important operator to attack on this bomb site, I would 100% say Thermite. And that's gone.
Well, you know, we can see how this is going to play out, but I also want to take a look at some of these other operators we have picked on out. I think the IQ does not really have good value considering what Zealous have brought here. You know, of course, there's no Valkyrie, so there's no cameras they're going to have to find. What else are they bringing the IQ for?
My assumption is the Echo. You really need to have some way to locate those yokais, especially on this map. We've seen some fantastic Echo play on this map, but, you know, as you mentioned, not relevant because he just wasn't picked.
And then, of course, we've got the Twitch, which is a counter for the Maestro. Yep, Maestro.
I think you need some kind of substitute now that Thatcher's been banned, so that Twitch can help a little bit. Doesn't do all the work.
Decent gun as well.
Oh, more than decent. It's Bruce who's going to be wielding it, though. He is typically a support player, not the fragger that you'd expect to want to wield the F2. And it looks like a lot of presence early in the round from Fury on this west side. Ready to prep and take down Lobby. Okay, he's going to get that first Maestro for free. That's fantastic. And a lot of information gathering denied by Fury. So already off to a very good start. And Shade's going to add to that by taking down the dock of JCZ.
I think he's only got one more shock left on this Twitch drone, so it's not going to be... Okay, that's all of them used up, so we won't be able to take down any other Maestro cameras. JCZ going down early is that cog that's meant to be holding up above, isn't it, Dev?
Yeah, and he lost that long-range gunfight that we saw Shade holding from the windows, but striking does strike back.
Nice.
Rock goes down. You'd expect the Jackal on this bomb site to be primarily controlling the middle floor. Yeah, preventing any kind of C4 action or vertical play for that plant denial. And plant denial is something that Zealous do seem to be one for. And, well, the losing players by the minute.
Oh, Shade! He's almost found his third of this round, but Serum to trade him on back. Well, Shade repelling on the north side of the map has definitely had a lot of impact. Spruce! Oh no! He can't quite capitalize. And the revive is going to come on through. Oh.
Good salvage from Nazgul there. Surely that would have been an embarrassing moment for Serum if Nazgul hadn't saved him, but it's a 3 versus 3 now. Zealous do have some players in strong positions, but that turns everything around, and Fury make a strong entry. Just Serum, 20 HP left. The Older in Hand's a very good weapon for this situation, for a clutch with multiple players to find. It'll have to make these into 1v1s. Peeking onto this first one, he may well get this as a free kill, but no, Golden's watching the angle and he takes him down. Fury, with a strong attack round, finish it off.
And, you know, I want to say that that round was pretty well won by Shade, just winning so many fights, just repelled on the north side of the map. It's, I don't know, it's something that shouldn't really be happening, like, just finding frags like that.
I agree with you, but at the same time, you know, those 2 picks, that wasn't the thing that really gained Fury entry into that bomb site. I'm not quite sure how. I think it was just 2 separate 1v1s. From that 3v3, it turned into a 3v1 instantly, and that wasn't, in my opinion, when the round changed.
Well, I was also, you know, taking a look at this utility, and they are going to change over to the Zofia again. It makes me think that they're going to be doing a push, not from the Skylight Stairwell or Square Stairs. They're going to take the push from Lobby, like we saw. So I think they're going to try and replicate that.
It's dangerous because if Zealous starts to read into this and stops peeking so aggressively, and to be frank, stops losing their gunfights, then Fury aren't going to really have much to go off. You know, Zealous do seem to be investing at least reasonably heavy in this east side push. They do have some information gathering and those castle barricades to prevent a west side push, but we saw how easily the that Maestro camera was dealt with in the previous round, and I don't know if there'll be too much difficulty in the next one.
Well, JCZ, of course, is one of the best fraggers in ANZ. I think he had the highest rating on Fury. God, I just forgot about that. That was it's an ex-teammate against his team.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great point. You mentioned it earlier, but yeah, JC was the first one to be taken out in that previous round as well. Just didn't have an impact at all.
Yeah, the point I was going to be making, he's going to be the one taking all those fights from Banana or thereabouts with the long angles. So, you know, he's lost one, but you'd expect him to win a couple here or there.
He is confident to pick that dock again. Hope it works out. Fury with a very frag-heavy lineup in terms of his operators. All of these players have a weapon in their hands that they can feel confident in. Trust in these long-range engagements.
Yeah, definitely all operators with fantastic guns.
Said we could say something similar for some of the players from Zealous. Not striking those. He's taken downstairs. First player to fall in this round for Zealous. Once again, you know, Fury just finding these early picks. I think that you've got to say Zealous shouldn't be so separated like this. It just plays perfectly into how Fury intends to take this bomb site.
So what's the plan from Zealous here, having the castle downstairs? Is it to try and deny the plant with some impacts through the floor, perhaps?
Honestly, I think he's just roaming around looking for someone who's going to walk into his crosshairs or near enough.
Can't really rely on that, though, Dev.
No. Maybe a late flank, but don't think it's a very good idea for him to start downstairs, especially playing an operator which doesn't have any utility to support him.
Is that wall soft, is it? Looks like some more unconventional stuff here from Zealous.
Yeah, there is that one soft wall. Could be opened by Fury if they want, but doesn't seem to be a priority at the moment. You can see Zealous are very interested in aggressively peeking these angles, and Fury do seem to, contrary to what you predicted, attempting this east side square stairs take.
Well, Golden's going to be drawing some pictures in the wall with the blowtorch, of course, as that soft wall will be busted open. Yeah, why take a thermite when they're going to leave it unreinforced? This could be some great vodding we're seeing here from Fury.
Yeah, you may be right. Still, it does restrict, the lack of the thermite does restrict somewhat the ability to open up the wall on the north side.
I'm just worried that Fury have slowed things down so much. It seems like they've done not much over the last minute and a half as Nazgul will find Golden, so there's going to be no more hard breach full stop. Spruce has found JCZ, so that's him still having trouble getting started. Warden, he can feel the pressure. Oh, the timing there. He's going to turn around.
Oh my God.
Jams there to find him with the SMG-11, putting us into a 3-on-2. 15 seconds to the plant's going down. Is it going to be denied?
Wow.
No, Shade, perfectly timed, leaving it all up to Nazgul.
1 versus 3 retake is certainly an unenviable position for Nazgul. All players on the bomb site. One now repelling on this north side. Very difficult position, especially as the lone operator remaining. We've seen players like this from Virtue in the past and other notable players, but Nazgul has a lot of work to do, a lot of pathways to take. He spots out one player, but he's just going to get taken out. I believe a 3K for Shade in the round, and that most essential kill was the one to protect that planter. An excellent round from Fury. A bit surprising, but hey, it works out.
Yeah, it's Fury are a team that have a playstyle that's very hard to read, I feel.
Yeah, that's a fair call. I don't know. That said, like,
it's kind of puggish, I suppose.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can counter that playstyle by not giving your enemy anything to work from. And, you know, in the early rounds, Zealous were giving Fury the fights that they wanted. And that was how they lost the first pick downstairs.
Even then, like, I feel like Fury are peaking some of the Zealous players, and you would expect the Zealous player to win that fight because it's at an odd angle or whatever. But no, they don't. It seems like Fury are just straight gunning right now. And
sometimes it's better, you know, especially as a defensive side, to not peek something. Just force your enemy to make that first move.
Well, no, it felt like they were holding angles and getting peeked on and just losing.
You reckon Zealous were the ones getting peeked?
Yes. But we saw it, like, the one that was playing in meeting. Who was that? I think it was Serum on the Maestro. He's holding the angle, and we see Golden peek him and just tear his head off.
Yeah, true. Anyhow, it's a few unsuccessful defenses of the top floor, so they'll head downstairs.
2 and move.
Yep, that philosophy that you do love so well. Fury should be able to get a fairly quick and efficient roam clear, but looks like Jam's keen to play as the Ela with the FO12 in the server stairs. So that's one thing that will be quite difficult for Fury to get rid of. Potentially. They don't have any frags, no Capitao either. So it'll come down to some gunfights, maybe assistance from flashes.
Yeah, actually a bit surprised that we haven't seen the Capitao brought out at all.
It's a fair point, you know. Mind you, it's not... You know, I really think we should see it, you know?
Yes.
Like, it's just so powerful, especially on this bomb site.
Like, we saw some of the strats that Oddity had last night and the way they were planning on utilising, which just didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, but I think that, you know, the thing with the Capitao for me is that, you know, it's... Oh, wait, okay, here we go. Is this... Sorry to just distract myself, but I think this is why they banned the Thatcher.
Oh,
so that they can protect the ADSs. Because one EMP would get rid of all the ADSs here. You have to play a Jaeger in here to ADS juggle to keep them up. But here they actually have to use their stun grenades and other projectiles to get rid of those ADSs. I don't know, just a theory. Could be it.
Rainbow Six theory is...
Well, we have the KE charges as well, so...
Yeah, well, Golden has already done some work on the hatch into CCTV. So we're going to see some garage push as well. Spruce has got the information on the Maestro. In fact, he's going to fall off. And this is the point where he's saying push in. They're not looking. Warden, I think, is going to prone around the corner so we can take the angle. Giving the call. Here we go. Here comes the peak. We're going to see the distraction. Oh, that's so smart.
Wow. This is such a well-played moment by Spruce. And Warden does capitalize perfectly. Striking goes down. A huge opening for Fury. Yesterday we saw how much power this garage position nets the attackers, completely negating all of the players inside of red. Serum will have to take this fight with the ACOG if he wants to repel any attackers.
Well, I don't think they've forced that Ela out though, however, so, you know, can they really go for the plant if they don't have access to the bomb sites? There's Warden going to find Serum as well. That's 2 for him in this round, and he's just in behind the lines now, isn't he?
Yeah.
They going for a hatch drop.
Well, that'll put a stop to a lot of the plans as JCZ finds his former teammate. We can see there's been a retake of the bomb site by Zealous, but their players are falling and not a lot of versatility in that shotgun, so Rock puts down Jam. Just JC left. 3 more players to find against his former team. Really not a great position. Information on him, he takes out that drone, but his plan's going to go down. He wants to cross into red, but really there's no possibility here with that long angle being held. Does manage to get in safely, but 2 more players to find, and Spruce, a monster of a round from Spruce on the Twitch.
Yeah, all that information he gathered, allowing Warden to get on in, and then the distraction, of course, with the Twitch drone. Beautiful timing. I'm surprised that we saw Serum. Well, who was it on the Maestro? It was It was striking, wasn't it? React so slowly.
Striking. Yeah.
But I also like what we saw there from Fury. The fact that, there was that Ella set up on the stairs with the shotgun and the Grismots and the ADSs. We'll just, bisect your defense and then also drop some hatches into gold vault.
Yeah, they dropped down into the vault side, which is a strategy that Zealous had anticipated at least slightly because they had those holes in the bottom of that wall where you can, in theory, see anyone who drops. But, I think Fury just perfectly tempered that that pinch. And really taking care of that Garage Maestro player was such a pivotal moment. Fury's doing really well so far. 3 straight rounds. Not what I had predicted. Yeah, Monkey, you're giving me this I told you so look right now.
That smug look. Well, I didn't have a great day yesterday in predictions. Well, kind of. I got 3 out of 4.
It was your map predictions yesterday. That was really great.
They were on fire, weren't they? Yeah. As you can see, Shade leading the way. Of course, he was so pivotal in the first 2 rounds, but this time he is on the Thermite. Did they bring the Thermite last round? Maybe that's why they didn't. Okay.
Yeah, but there were the KE charges on these hatches, so that's what the Maverick's job was to dispose of.
Are they going to try and force out the yellow this time is my question. Like, I don't think that's the strat you can use twice that's going to work as easily.
Yeah, fully agree with you. I think that's the case with a lot of these attacks that Fury have been making. That first time they did that lobby side push and got a few picks. You can't really rely on that second time, and they didn't. They actually changed up, went for a square stairs push, and it worked.
So they're going to try and get Spruce in through Dirt Tunnel.
Might be the case. And with this IQ, they can detect all of those Jaeger ADS trophies. Twitch would ideally be the one to take care of those, but not going to happen.
No time to waste.
So that first drone is disposed of. You can see Zealous are aware of a potential push through this cave, but I think, still a possibility that Fury can push up. It's Spruce doing it this time.
This is such a difficult fight to take, though, without opening up the hatches above and forcing out the yellow first. It's, this is one that Spruce would not be favoured to win here against the Jaeger. In fact, there goes the hatch.
That'll put the Ella in a much more difficult position. That said, Shade may well lose this gunfight if he peeks. Nope, sorry, he's on the staircase,
yep.
so he's safe. Still, Spruce just gradually pushing up. Usually we'd see utility used to flush out these key positions, but elsewhere Rock finds one before he's traded.
Did he accidentally fall down the hatch? I think I saw him die down below.
Yeah, he just dropped into red. No, that's the Kaid.
Okay, I think it was on the main stairs then.
Well, anyhow, JC does find Shade eventually, picking up that hatch in all likelihood. Spruce now his position made aware of. He knows it's very dangerous to try to push forward onto that Jaeger.
This has completely stalled out the push here. In fact, Jam, that was a free kill that he let slip by, and I think Fury might be deciding, all right, we're just going to have to either push this and go for trades, or we're going to have to rotate.
Looks like it's the rotate. Avoiding server completely now. A dangerous bet, though, as they're dropping into a crossfire, but Warden decides he's going to do it anyway. Exposes himself to Garage, and Striking finds an easy kill. Spruce pushing gradually into server, and he falls as well. JC finds his second, and Golden's position now completely exposed. Fully in a crossfire. Nazgul will pick that one up from red, and Zealous do find their first round here on Bank.
So Fury, realizing they can't do the exact same push once again, try and force out the stairs without the Thatcher. Utility too hard to get rid of, and as I said, trying to take that fight into server, without some utility to back it up, you're just not going to win it.
I mean, did they even try to force out the stairs? I don't think they did. And I never saw them.
Yeah, they realized they couldn't.
Yeah, they realized they couldn't force out the stairs. They tried to force out server instead, which isn't really possible.
I think if you've got the hatch, it would be possible. You need to see some flashbangs going in to harass the Jaeger behind the server rack.
Yeah, and that's the problem for Fury. They didn't have that utility really available, or at least, they might have had some utility, but they didn't use it very effectively. I would have liked to see one person above the hatch, maybe as a fear to, or someone with stuns to, harass that person behind the server rack and then hold that angle into the stairs to prevent that Ella from peeking, while 2 people drop down the hatch and kill the player behind server.
Plus the one coming in from dirt.
Yeah, exactly. But without that, wasn't really much for Fury to break through that defense. Zealous will head back up top. 2 losses so far on this bomb site, and Striking changed over from the castle to a Mozzie. wanting to maybe prevent some of that droning that was harassing him downstairs earlier.
And the echo as well. We're seeing Nazgul bring that out. He was on the smoke. This time, Jam's going to be taking up the mute role. So a bit of a swapping around here in terms of what operators people are going to play.
Something that'll help with that echo for Nazgul not only is... Oh, okay, nice. It's a free drone. So one of the things that will help with that that echo compared to, say, the smoke is you have that that ACOG for those long-range encounters, and we saw how pinched Nazgul was previously with just the, you know, the little SMG-11 in these long-range gunfights. It was a struggle.
Well, once again, into ATMs immediately for Fury. So, of course, there's a bomb site where they feel like the only hard breach they need is that Maverick. So Shade, who's done so much good work on these windows.
Makes you wonder why Zealous don't just reinforce that wall. Why not just try it? You know? Are they not aware that this team isn't bringing the thermite? Serum wants to jump out here, but if he does, he's going to die eventually. He's
got a shield in his pocket.
Is he going to put it down for that protection from the west side where he's destroyed that? No.
Well, he might be about to win a fight here if Shade repels much closer to him without being aware, as the Jackal track's going to come on through. In fact, Warden, you saw him on cameras.
I don't think he realized who it was, and there you go. Serum eventually does win that fight. Upstairs, Shade going down, a player that we saw do so much earlier. I believe that's going to be the first yokai disabled as well from Warden. And it's just a slow push at the moment for Fury, just gauging their entry, moving up safe proning position on these red stairs.
We still have that player downstairs, which I'm going to assume is striking, because that's where he's been playing earlier as well.
Yeah, just the Mozzie downstairs. Nazgul does eventually find that kill with the MP5 SD, so ACOG working perfectly in his favor. Rock taken out now. It's the smokes as well off the board for Fury, and Spruce finds that kill downstairs, but Nazgul a second with the MP5 SD. It'll be desperate now for Fury. They've lost the diffuser. 2 players separated.
Yep, 2v4. Gonna have to fight back into this one. So Warden's gonna throw out a drone in a very precarious position, but that's okay. Andy's gonna find Jam as well, but JCZ will shut down Spruce. So it's gonna have to be Warden to dig deep in the clutch here.
He has 3 opponents all wielding ACOGs. Oh, he'll find the first for free. He does expose himself to one of these open murder holes, but still has an opportunity here. 30 seconds, time to play with. He has to make this 2 1v1s.
Yeah, but he doesn't have diffuser in his hand. There we go. Beautiful flick right to the head. And he might also be coming up on Nazgul if he's aware. He is hard scoped in on it. Surely Nazgul's hurt him. However, surely the peak's going to come out any moment now. Nazgul's in such a sneaky position, but no! Nazgul will win it. Warden almost found the 1v3 clutch, the 4K in total, but not to be. Zealous put their second up on the board.
It's just so terrifying. Zealous, that should never have been 3 1v1s. And yet it was. You know, they had 3 players with ACOGs, all who could have held these long angles and crossfires to help each other out, and all of them held in a position where they could be eliminated.
To be fair, the first one, he shot the Maestro in the back, right? He had no idea where he was coming from. The second one, he was holding an angle prone that Warden just won the gunfight, and then the last one, Nazgul. Like, I don't think you can put it down to that, Dev.
I really don't feel like that second last player should have died, you know, in a position where that last player wouldn't have been able to at least help out. Anyhow, what's done is done. So let's get that second round just barely.
Once again, I disagree with you, Dev.
All right, all right.
Like, Nazgul was holding down diffuser, and we saw, who was it? It was Serum on the Maestro, trapped at the back of the bomb site. He couldn't move. I think the way they played it out was fine, and, you know, it was almost one off the back of, you know, Warden's individual brilliance there.
So really was the only problem for Zealous the fact that they lost those gunfights, in your opinion?
Yes. Like, I don't see a way that they can play it better rather than not lose their first player in the 1v3.
Maybe the question was that where was that information for Zealous? Because if there was information on where Warden was, I definitely think that they could have played it better.
Yes, like he did get a kill there, didn't he, onto Jam?
Yeah, that would have had some information, but, you know, being an IQ, he could have rotated quickly to hold the hallway angle or, you know, to open that that open wall on the east side. A bit difficult to say when you're not sitting in the chair with the mouse yourself. Anyhow, it's a new bomb site for us to play with this time around.
Yeah, the first time we are seeing the Teller's bomb site. Zealous managing to fight back. Dev, this is a fairly defender-sided map, though, wouldn't you agree? And if Fury managed to win this one, I think it might be dire straits for Zealous.
Yeah, Fury have been pretty good on their attacks, just always finding a weakness and exploiting it. Zealous haven't really been covering all of those opportunities that Fury have found.
Is there no one playing upstairs? They're just forfeiting this part of the map?
Yeah, I mean, it's not too unusual. They're going to get this top floor eventually, in all likelihood, and it looks like Zealous are preferring to play for more of a retake strategy. They have a lot of roamers. They've extended their hold out into open area. And with the Hibana bound, it'll be more difficult to open up those hatches in open area. So JC will be sitting fairly well defended here, gathering a lot of information from the placement of his Legion mines.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Dev. But, you know, if they attack from lobby, where your only flank route is to come from the elevators or from upstairs, I think it's going to be pretty hard to get any crossfires onto them when they start to go for the plum. Let's see if Fury can recognize that, or if Zealous have a response for it.
Well, looks like Zealous will fall for the first. Jam taken out by Rock. He's now droning over towards the kitchen side. May well attempt to push open area from this position, but the Mozzie spots out his drone. Able to take it out though, so still this information being gathered by Rock. He actually sees another player as well, the alibi of Nazgul. He's getting all this information about these defender rotations now. Call this out to the players above, and they'll easily flush out those positions. So great information gathering being capitalized on by Fury, but that's the diffuser on the ground. 2 players left for Zealous, the challenge against 4.
Yeah, great shot there from striking, but there's plenty of time for for Fury here to play with. Looks like the remaining Zealous members are going to have to win a few gunfights, and there's striking to find his second, but Rock's there to trade him on back. So just up to JCZ in the 1v3.
May well be possible. However, these angles being held from above will make his rotation between these bomb sites very, very difficult. I believe that player is just watching that rotation. He's been set up as well. He does have this impact grenade to open for himself more angles, but this flank up top is going to take a lot of information, a lot of time. You can see that drone reveal this position. He takes down Spruce, though. That's a good first kill. A lot of to do from here, though, and the 2 players aren't going to give him anything, just hiding at this point.
Yeah, he's hoping to find someone through the floor, but they are not putting themselves in those dangerous positions. I like how JCZ's been playing this so far. Knew he had to take out the one on top, but, you know, he has to play this a bit quicker because time is not on his side. You know, I don't think he's even got enough time now.
He's going to jump straight over, get spotted out by Golden, who'll finish him off. And Fury have a very, very strong first attacking half, going up 4 rounds.
Yeah, 4 rounds, very impressive here. Golden will tap him in the leg, and of course he's very low, so he's going to go down from that one. So, you know, defense, bank, I really think Fury have got this one locked in, unless Zealous can bring out something pretty exciting, or Fury can throw it away.
No, I think you might be right. It'll be downstairs first up for Fury. I don't know, what can we say about Zealous on that first half? I feel like they did have some ideas, some strategies that were well thought out, but I
think they had some strategies, but it's more of, you know, they have little things here or there, but nothing that's going to help in the grand picture of things.
I guess on the flip side, Fury, you know, you mentioned before you think Fury is a team that has never seemed to look like more than the sum of its parts. In fact, it looked like less than the sum of its parts. And its parts are pretty damn good. Like, we've seen good individual plays here. But the thing for me about this map so far is that Fury have had very good teamwork. You know, yes, we've seen some, you know, hero plays here and there, but droning in and taking control of Garage, where Spruce was really assisting his teammate to find that kill. That was exceptional. Like, you know, that was perfect, exactly what they needed, and it's exactly what Fury have been lacking for such a long time.
Yeah, but I do think that Fury are still relying a bit on those individual plays. Like the first 2 rounds, it was pretty much, you know, one-way traffic from Shade. He was finding frags that he shouldn't be in, putting themselves in very difficult positions for Zealous to deal with. But yeah, overall, I think Fury have looked quite good in terms of strats and individual play here.
My question is, what can Zealous do to tune into this Fury play style? You know, if Fury are always happy to take these 1v1s and take these individual fights, I think Zealous needs to turn it into more of a team game. If they do, then they could well fight back.
This is the first Nomad we're seeing tonight, Dev.
It looks like Zealous then are very cautious of these flanks. You know, a lot of opportunities for flanks on this site. The information of the operators that Fury has, pretty good to enable that. Both the Mozzie and the Echo can gather late round information up those main stairs and enable a flank player. That Nomad will stop that in its tracks.
I also think Nomad can be used as a very aggressive operator, almost like a frag grenade, right? Like you shoot it down at their feet and push them. They either have to shoot that Nomad or take the fight and then get blasted from you or run for it. It's like if there's no ADSs, Nomad can be used quite aggressively as well.
See Zealous, they're not met with any kind of contest in the server stairs.
Yeah, stark contrast, isn't it?
Just different strokes, right? Different strategies. Seems to be fine for Zealous so far. Rock playing a very aggressive angle on these stairs. Jam's going to set up that Nomad. Rock will definitely be aware.
So Jam is going to go and see where he is as well. Spotted immediately. Interesting to see he's running the AUG. Like, it's not a bad weapon, but it's not something we normally see get ran.
No, I really guess it comes down to the kinds of engagements you'll be having and whether you really do have confidence in that slug shotgun. But here's the main wall open now for Zealous. And here becomes the game of attrition. Where are the C4s, the yokai drones, the smoke grenades? There's the first one. Nazgul does take a bit of damage, a bit more than he needed to in my opinion.
Yeah, Golden's pre-ripped his C4 here, so they're not going to hear it coming when he decides to toss it on out.
And also with both the Echo and the Maestro, Zealous really have a lot of time they'll have to burn. And utility as well. Plant attempted again now. That's easily quickly denied, but there's a wasted C4. You know, I do agree with you. That was not very good use of utility.
Yeah, that's something we spoke about previously, as striking will find Warden as well. Looks like Nazgul's going to go for a quick drone, see if anyone's in red. He sees no one, but that smoke's going to force him back for a bit longer. That's a lot of information gathered by that drone there, Dev.
But still, there's 30 seconds remaining, so Zealous actually looking pretty good. Not only do they have the man advantage, but they've wasted all of those smoke babes, killed the smoke themselves, and the Echo's down as well. Sprost knows he needs to spray on through here, but this defuse is going to get locked down on the ground. Rock does find the one kill to open up the round, but there's a lot more work needs to be done. Now he's on the flank, he gets taken down. Just 2 left for Fury, and this looks like it's all over.
Yeah, Fury really had to make this flank work, which it has not, and you know, I don't think it will, trying to send Spruce up there. Now he has to contest with striking first, and he's a 1 speed, so all up to Golden, 1v4, half the diffuser timer down. This is looking like it's going to be Zealous finding the first attack round in their first attack round.
There you go. Good round.
Was that a striking ace?
Was it? I don't know.
Because I think it... No, it would say on... It would say.
Yeah, it says at the end of the round, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It says ace. Yeah. No, that was a good attack from Zealous. To me, the thing that made the difference there was good job in terms of time. You know, winning that attrition game on the utility on that plant. Now, Fury used all of their smokes, and Zealous still had a 30-second window. And then the key really is that they killed the Echo, so that yokai not able to deny the plant for much longer. Also
poor timing with the C4, and I think the real kicker for Zealous, where they knew they were able to go for the plant, was that drone that they got into red. You know, if there was someone in red, they would know, but there wasn't.
Yeah, and that position from the Maestro, trying to deny that plant with that long angle, just wasn't able to. That angle wasn't available in the spot that he was standing. If he tried to move a little bit to the left, he might have been able to get it, but it's very difficult. It's more of you have to get them as they're entering the plant animation. Once they've started planting, I think it's pretty well impossible to find that right covered. Yeah. Well, now Fury will head upstairs for their second defense. Not going to reattempt that basement, as they did lose it. But on this top floor, they had a decent amount of success. They won 2 attacks early in the first half. Eventually, they did lose one of their attacks, but still had a valiant effort there as well. Came down to a 1v1, Dev. Yeah, and they have, yeah. You know, it was a 1v3 turned into a 1v1. Yeah. It wasn't a great start to the round. Warden did some work, but wasn't able to close it out. Zealous, in stark contrast to Fury's attacks, do bring a thermite here on the top floor. It's revolutionary. Yeah, well, I think Fury might be reinforcing all the walls. So I think that might be the reason why. But, yeah, you know, I was going, yeah, Fury have got this locked down, easy for them.
But after that round, like Zealous are only 1 round away. I think, you know, suddenly I don't feel as confident. Oh, okay, never mind, Dev. They've got that wall open.
Okay, I guess that's the new meta for these teams. Shade does find that first kill. Yeah, a lot of this utility from Fury will be very safe now with the IQ off the board. Also, you know, that's a key fragger. JC has always been a strong fragger within the region. That's why Fury picked him up originally from his previous team, Power Plays.
I think he might just be having a bit of trouble here tonight, and whether it's the fact that he's up against his old team could come into play.
Certainly a good storyline. I don't know how much truth there is to it. Let's have a look at this frag grenade. Ooh. Far too high, I think, you know, just bounced off the edge.
I don't think there's even an ADS there, and I think Warden's decided he wants to get on out of there. The information has come on through. In fact, he's got a drone on Nazgul there.
Perfectly placed drone from Mozzie.
I have
Getting
no idea.
All this information, yeah, as you mentioned, they're clueless as to that position. That range, you know, you're not really looking for a drone as an attacker. And striking, wow, he's still all the way up here on this rappel, looking for these long angles. A minute 25. If his team don't make much progress, he'll have to rappel down and make quick route into the bomb site to assist.
Yeah, but they're all just laying down on the ground here, Fury, all being sneaky snakes.
Zealous do have the numbers disadvantage. As we mentioned, Fury hunkering down, and Warden with that ACOG will win the fight. Putting the numbers still in his favor. Jam tries to fight back, but this is really, you know, there's no brunt of this push. It's just a little bit of here, a little bit of there, just poke, and striking, still repelling a further 45 seconds. Serum finally makes his way into the building. Zealous, there's a lot of work to do. You guys got to start moving.
Yeah, very disjointed attack here from Zealous, but they have regrouped and they've got 35 seconds to work with, Dev. So, you know, they play their cards right and they still might be able to come out with a round win. But, you know, Fury are going to look to just hold strong.
Do find another kill, and these picks will certainly help out. Still, it's just even numbers at the moment. Zealous do have a way into the bomb side, but their players are falling, and there's this position on the stairs. Shade has a great opportunity to flank. This is really just far too late to be placing a thermite charge, especially the numbers disadvantage. Zealous in such an unenviable position. Golden finds another kill. It's just Jam left, and he'll be finished off. Fury, I'm not sure what you did there, but it worked.
I really think that Zealous lost the round for themselves more than Fury did anything nuts. It was a very disjointed attack, an attack that didn't really have good strategy behind it, I feel. Like, you can see what they were trying to do. They couldn't execute it, and even then I don't think it was the optimal strategy with their lineup.
On the attacking side, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like if Zealous had... If Fury had been defending the same way that Zealous was defending when they were on that bomb site, then Zealous would have won.
Yeah.
And that's because both of these teams on their attacks on that bomb site were searching for picks and holding angles and waiting and trying to just kill these players. But Fury played so patiently.
And that's quite a few peaks from them, though.
Maybe early, but I think the peaks were kind of a bit wiser. You know, Warden pushing up very gradually down that long hallway. Just putting a little bit of pressure on this long angle. You know, he's using a Maestro. At the end, it did come down to peaks, but I think that's when the point of the round is already kind of over, especially when Fury had those superior positions just fully anchored in. Never really, you know, the player on the stairs, the player in the studio office, when did they ever feel pressured?
Yeah, and, you know, the fact that, you know, Fury were thermiting a wall at 11 seconds and the one before that at 35 seconds, it was, you know, I think... Sorry, Zealous, I mean. I think Zealous were hoping to find a pick a lot earlier there, Dev.
Yeah, they were the ones to lose that early man advantage. Looks like Striking sitting at the top of the scoreboard. Jam, a player who really used to be such a prolific fragger. He's struggling to get on the board at the moment for Zealous. I don't know.
Same for Serum, they're both on just the 2.
Yeah, both of them. Serum's always been a bit more support, though. I know, okay, so nice, I like that. JC spotting out the Mozzie drone, that IQ being used. Counter that information gathering.
There we go.
So I don't know here, like, we don't see a ton of kills on some of these players from Zealous, but is it really frags that's making the difference in this game? Like, for Zealous? If you could say Zealous, you have to do one thing, you have to fix one thing, what would it be?
I think they just need you know, pull that chemistry together a bit tighter and be gathering the information and finding frags off of it. Oh, this is a game of pixels here from Warden. In fact, he's going to get out with his life intact and his health bar still at 100.
You can see this is a roam strategy on this downstairs. Sorry, this Teller's defense. Heavy roam onto that south side, especially near those elevators. That position with the deployable shield at the elevators now countered by a thermite charge from the lone office.
Looks like Striking wants to come in and deny anyone playing on the stairs. So that, you know, that stairs position is going to look through into the bomb site to try and deny any plant where Nazgul's about to peek. So is Striking going to find the right timing on this push?
Now that Rock's phone is ringing, it's a perfect opportunity for Striking, but Rock is very aware of it. It's getting pushed from multiple angles though. 11 rounds left in the mag. It looks like Striking thought better of this. Bruce is there to support as well, and he will take down Striking. So great job from Spruce to support his teammate. Meanwhile, the first kill does come out for Zealous. Not really a lot of utility lost with the castle on the floor though, but some work finally done for Zealous as they open up one of the main walls onto the bomb site.
Oh, Warden. His ACOG just covers the player down below there as the push from Zealous is about to come on out. They've opened up the bomb site. They haven't even cleared above Dev. See, this is them just taking things very simply, isn't it?
Yeah, and, I mean, biting off just a little bit, seeing if you can chew it. Not sure if this plan will be successful. Oh, perfect peek from Naz, but Golden gets the wall bang onto the planter. Still, there's a lot of time in the round, so Zealous can salvage this. Golden takes a huge amount of damage, and he'll take down Jam as well. No, such a difficult position now for Nazgul. No utility left. He'll reload both of his weapons, but there's 3 players to find, and they're all just in different positions.
Yeah, 20 seconds to work with as well. Nazgul has gonna have to go fast here. He's pushing forward. I think there was a ping coming on out showing Golden's position. He's already taken some damage. Nice shot there. Good spray control with that SMG-12. He's picked up Diffuser. He can actually go for the plant now, Dev, as both of the opponents were off-site. They're going to start pushing him now for sure, but you know, I think Nazgul's got a chance in this one now.
I don't know. Rock's got a great position. Nazgul will have to find that kill very quickly. Rounds the corner and takes out. Oh, but no, the Lesion Mine. Such a difficult position for Nazgul. Round in the corner. Goes for the reload. Just Rock and Nazgul. Rock's already taken a lot of damage, and I think finally you're right. The situation has changed, and Nazgul now has the advantage. Rock baits out the cannon defuse, and Nazgul a 1 vs 3 clutch. What a position, and what a round for Zealous, all on the back of Nazgul.
Yeah, Fury. You know, you were talking earlier how it's so important to play back and play crossfires, Dev, and that's why not. You know, the fact that he's able to get a 7-second plant down all on his lonesome on the bomb site, Fury probably should have been a lot closer.
Yeah, definitely. In that position, you know, Fury had 3 players left. They had the diffuser down. They knew exactly where it was. And look, Nazgul got at least a 4K that round, and that was the most important kill to try to get that bomb down, was that first kill.
Yeah.
You know, so much work done by the Dokkaebi that round, even when he didn't have any utility left.
Rock probably feels like he should be winning that. You know, even I think he should be winning that gunfight there. But
there was just no information for Fury to go off, and in a position where they had just 3 players left. And I feel like as soon as that first player had died, the other 2 really needed to start making a move.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we saw when Golden crossed towards lobby, he did take some damage from someone shooting from those stairs.
Yeah, Rock was playing that angle on the stairs. He thought he was covering the diffuser. Maybe that's why Fury played so passively instead of taking that aggressive position. But, of course, it was only the 416. If it was the Alder, maybe I think that Nazgul wouldn't have gotten away with picking up that diffuser. But, hey, it's all just a bit of, you know, you can't always predict these things.
Yeah, you know, going back to your previous question about what can Zealous be doing, I think they need to, you know, start trusting in their teammates and, like, committing to things, right? Like, what we saw earlier in that previous round, like, yes, they did win it, but it was off a clutch, so, you know, enough of, you know, talking about that. But, you know, we saw Rock trying to get pushed out from the stairs, right? But Striking, he kind of does that, you know, half-committal peak where, you know, takes the fight but then falls back. Like, he really needed to commit to that because they had him pinched on the stairs. Like, he couldn't just take half the fight there and fall back.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Also been a bit of a lackluster one for Jam. really he died for free that last round in a position where he probably should have killed the Legion. Of course, he can thank Nazgul for saving the round anyway.
I don't like this strategy from Zealous. Just ignore top floor and try and make their way to site.
Well, the thing is, Fury haven't really been leveraging this top floor control for that vertical play to deny plant. If they were, then I think it would be way more difficult for Zealous to try to get a plant off. But you know, last round, they didn't get a plant down anyway because there was just a soft wall that they got wallbanged through.
Oh, well, there we go. That's going to be the first Maestro camera taken on out by the Lifeline, of course.
Still this roaming position as well. 2 of them for Fury, preventing this elevator hallway control. It's a good position for Fury, but, you know, as you mentioned, Zealous doing once again this one-dimensional push from the west side lobby.
I'm surprised that Fury have given up that top angle. Like, we can see they've got the holes in the floor, but yeah, no one's up above ready to rain down fire from there.
I think they just thought it was too much time investment to take the top floor, and I think that that's exactly what they need to do for this kind of take. You know, just eliminate some of these key positions. Oh, Serum spots out the head, but just doesn't tap quick enough. You can hear those phones ringing out, and I think this is the point where Zealous are waiting for a pick, but Fury just aren't playing ball.
Really like that shield placement, allowing Spruce to get further up in the hallway, still protected. And yeah, Zealous, they're just waiting for a pick now, aren't they? They need to force their way in. They've already used some of the utility, but Warden's there to slap Serum on down.
It's the last thing that Zealous need right now is to start losing this man advantage. Nazgul, though, of course, just standard stuff, putting the team on his back. He's about to round the corner onto this Mozzie, though. He finds 2 kills. Nazgul's doing all the work at the moment for Zealous, but as I say that, looks like the rest of the team's starting to step up. But finally, Nazgul falls down. Fury have 2 players left, but still a decent position. It's just Shade left, and Jam jumps in the round, and there you go. A great job from from Zealous to pull together that salvage in such a terrible position.
I don't know what I'm watching, Dev.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward, isn't it? You know, it looks like Fury on paper got everything down pat, and then Zealous like, yeah, okay, well, Nazgul, you just go up and kill 2 of the roamers, and then, well, the rest of us will just start slowly encroaching on and peek the remaining Fury players. And it's nothing particularly profound or decisive from Zealous that we're seeing. It's kind of a little bit here and a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't know, it's strange. Like, there's no real tactical depth we can really go into right now, because it just, on the surface, or at least from what we can see, maybe we just don't understand it, it looks like a frag fest. Like, very basic strategy, and then it's like, all right, we've opened up the wall and fight.
Yeah, I guess, you know, I don't want to discredit the brain or tactics that goes into making a play.
Like, I'm saying that's what it looks like to us.
Yeah, I mean, there were plays. Like, we saw Nazgul make a play, which really opened up the round. You know, flushed out those positions on the west side. Sorry, the south side. But, you know, I don't know. It's really hard, because it's kind of like what Fury were doing on their attacking side. Sometimes, every now and then, they just have a player step up, make a play. It's just such contrast to the kind of games we've been watching recently, where you really can kind of, you know, point the finger at something and say that's what happened.
Well, Dev, this round has been, this map has been confirmed to go to the distance. We are, of course, going to get to round 12, no matter which way the scoreline lies.
Yeah, it's been tight. I think this is the first time we saw, you know, actually a substantial amount of percentage from the community vote on a draw. About 20-odd%. I think it's certainly on the cards. It's what I'm starting to feel at the moment.
Well, you know what I was saying? Like, it was 4-2 half, and I was thinking, yeah, it's going to be Fury all the way now. But no, it's been Zealous who have been putting up the better numbers here. Of course, it's not too surprising, seeing as Fury managed to get their own, you know, advantageous attack half. But it's more of like you feel like from that situation, it'd be a team closing it out, yeah?
Yeah. I just noticed, flicking through cameras here, Warden doesn't seem to have any information on this west side, and that's where Zealous have pushed up very aggressively. They already have Nazgul. We've seen how much of a difference he can make. Jam that opens up the first pick of the round, and the second as well. Jam really making some moves from these windows. Nazgul as well. Information gathered in lieu of that Dokkaebi call. Now, Serum will deploy this exothermic charge. Just 3 players left for Fury, and this is starting to look like a very good round for Zealous.
Yeah, they've got their avenues on into the bomb site, and there's still plenty of time. And look, they're all up in support already. Like, remember when they first attacked here, they really took their time, very disjointed, but this is looking so much better already. Rock's going to find striking, however, to pull us back to even numbers. Looks like Shade's taken a lot of damage from elsewhere as well.
Serum, though, does find that opening. Finish off Shade with a headshot. There's 2 players left for Fury. These smokes may well enable some kind of a plant, and now with the call as well, Rock knows his position, likely exposed. Bruce gets spotted out and can't win that long-range fight onto the window. Rock, though, knows he needs to make a play. He sprays down, and the potato. Nazgul finishes him off, and Zealous step right on up, get their 6 rounds on the board. Minimum draw and maximum a victory here on Bank.
Well, 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 Dev. It's been a tumultuous map, hasn't it? It's been very twisty-turny. No one knows where we're going.
I think, really, it's looked different ever since Nazgul has kind of decided, guys, the strategy here is that we're going to set up, and then I'm going to make a call, and then I'm going to make a play. And that's what has just happened, you know, kind of 2 rounds in a row. You could see Nazgul, you mentioned he's potentially the IGL for this roster.
Yep.
And he was the one always on the front line. You know, he was the first player up on Banana, pushing that front lobby side up to the top floor. He was the player to make that kind of rear side push in the previous round. Exactly, and I think that's exactly what's working for Zealous. You know, now we're seeing the rest of the players really step up as well.
He's got his Ash license, does he now?
I'm not sure if he's copped that 10K
I think
yet.
He might have. Can we see the scoreboard?
Oh, there you go. He's well and truly copped his Ash license.
Yeah, and looks like Jam's been stepping up now as well. He's
yeah, he was struggling before, but stepping up now. It's funny, really. You know, who's the support players on Zealous right now? Obviously, we've got, you know, Serum playing the Thermite, but other than that, you know, what role is JCZ and Jam?
Maybe striking. He's on the Maverick, the hard breacher, if you will.
Striking's been doing a lot of entry, though.
Yeah, he has.
It's really kind of difficult to explain. Oh, look at that. A striking staring down. That's hilarious. I love that.
Either way, Spruce has found that drone in the end there. That pest found on out.
Yeah, Spruce is a bit of a pest.
Oh, Warden's taken some damage early on. I wonder where that was from.
Yeah, difficult to call. Top floor for this final defense. And we saw how difficult it was for Fury to muster anything on this last time. This IQ is being used really well to spot out all the utility. A hidden Maestro camera that would have given so much information on the lobby side. It was information that really was the fall, or lack thereof, that was the fall of Fury last round.
Rock playing this position. That's a nice shot onto Serum. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if even Rock's surprised he got that kill.
He does have a bulletproof somewhere left, and Fury seem to be stepping up in this round. Thermite and IQ now eliminated. Nazgul knows he needs to find this frag, but in this position, he's going to just barely get through. He does eventually find Rock. A great entry. Lost a decent amount of HP for it, but Zealous will have to regroup.
Yeah, Rock probably should have got a bit more damage down then, but Spruce is in such... he's going to fall off the angle. He could have really denied whoever was coming through ATMs, but he might have been spotted on the drone, so they might be very well aware of his position here.
Does have a drone of his own now as he converts that one. He can now scout for information up in this lobby side.
Nazgul is doing such a solo play right now. Look, well, all of the attackers are so spread out. Nazgul's just trying to force things out from Banana.
Needs to gather more information first. Golden is really the X factor for Fury at the moment in his position upstairs. The Spruce on the flank downstairs, obviously a lot of potential. He does have a C4 he can utilize for the floor as well. Shade, though, getting aggressive.
Oh,
he's taken out, actually.
Nazgul's like right in the middle of the bomb site. Finally, he goes down from Golden. And Jam and Striking going to have to do it. Spruce from the lobby, leaving it all up to Striking, Dev. Unless we're going to see a 1v3, I think we're going to be seeing a 6-6 here. That's the first one there for Striking. They are pretty separated, these defenders as well, but he is very low. Has to pull out this goo mine. 30 seconds to work with. Let's see what he can do.
We've seen big clutches in the past, and that's exactly what Striking needs. It's just Spruce left, but this Legion Mine could make the difference. He has to pull it out. 20 seconds. Decent amount of time. We'll start to force down this black, but no! What a clutch from Golden from the grave with the Legion Mine. What a way to end it as well. Just standing there the whole round, sitting in the bomb site, throwing out his little goo mines. And that is the absolute anticlimax of anticlimaxes for Zealous.
I was like, he's going to do it. He's going to do this clutch 1v1, but those goo mines striking from the grave. We can see on the scoreboard, Nazgul putting in quite a lot of work. And, you know, you said it turned around when he started fragging out, and I have to agree with you. That is when it started going in Zealous's favor. And
that's the thing. I think that last round would have been Zealous's if Nazgul not necessarily had gotten more kills on the bomb site, but had stayed alive longer. As long as he's actually alive on that bomb site, it just enables Jam on the windows to have so much more freedom because it forces the defenders to play really, really passive. And maybe Jam actually would have been able to repel inside safely if Nazgul had just been alive a bit longer.
Well, either way, it was a good effort from Zealous and Fury. Like, as I said, I really felt like this was Fury's to, you know, win after that first half. They were up 4-2, but then Zealous are able to get their own 4-2 on attack.
So 8 rounds of attack versus 4 rounds of defense, you know?
On bank.
On bank, no less, yeah. I know it's funny because, you know, it's not like we saw a ton of Capitao used or any of these operators, which at the moment are really, really prevalent. I think it was just players fragging out.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I think, you know, the scoreboard did show that in the end.
Yeah, so that's one game done for those guys. It was a draw. Is this going to be a close second game? We don't know. Like, what do you guys reckon? You can vote for who you think will win, whether you think you're going to see another tie on the ESL Rainbows 6 socials. Head over to the Twitter, pop your vote in. We're going to do that during the break as well. I don't know. What do you reckon at this point?
Just because I predicted it at the start of the week, I think Fury have got this one.
All right, in that case, I got to keep sticking to my guns as well and say Zealous will take the next one. I don't know, like it really could go either way at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know, any last thoughts based on that map? You know, are these guys performing as we expected?
Well, it really depends if Nazgul can keep that form going, I think, for Zealous to, you know, have a real chance in this one. Like that was their X factor. That's what allowed them to win the rounds. And you know, we can say, oh, he's just fragging out, but you know, maybe it's the rest of his team that's enabling him to do it. And you know, that's their strategy. When you know, if it works, you can't really knock it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's plenty more frags to come out in this second map. It'll be brought to you guys right after this quick break.